Your air conditioner dies in July, not the compressor outside getting hit by a storm, it just fails. The motor burns out on a Tuesday afternoon, the house climbs to 90 degrees, and the repair or replacement quote comes back at $6,000. So you file a homeowner's claim and the adjuster tells you something that doesn't feel fair at all. Your policy may cover damage to your air conditioner if a tree falls on it, but it generally does not cover the air conditioner for simply breaking down. That gap has a name. It's one of the most useful pieces of coverage almost nobody asks about. And once you understand it, you start seeing it everywhere in your house and in your business. Here's the thing most people get wrong about a homeowner's policy or a business property policy. These policies are built around covered causes of loss. A storm, a fire, a falling tree, a defined event that damages your property, not the equipment's own internal failure. What they're generally not built for is the machine failing on its own. The motor that burns out, the compressor that seizes, the circuit board that fries itself. An internal, mechanical, or electrical failure is a different category of loss, and most standard property policies exclude it. There are usually exclusions or limitations in the policy for things like wear and tear, mechanical breakdown, and certain electrical damage. In plain language, if the machine itself fails, and if there's no covered fire, storm, or other covered cause of loss driving it, the base policy often steps back. Not because the carrier is being difficult, but because the policy was simply never designed to cover that risk. And for a long time, that gap was easier to miss. Homes had fewer expensive systems, fewer electronics, and fewer connected devices than they do now. Walk through a modern home and count the systems. Central air and heating, a tankless water heater, solar panels and the inverter that runs them, a pool pump, smart appliances with circuit boards in them, a backup generator, an electric vehicle charger bolted to the garage wall. Every one of those is a machine. Every one of those can fail without a storm, a fire, or a tree ever being involved. And many of those are expensive to repair or replace. The house got more complicated, and the standard policy did not automatically grow to match it. That's the gap. The more technology you add to your home, the wider it gets. The same story plays out in a business, just with bigger numbers. A restaurant runs on walk-in coolers, ovens, and HVAC. A medical office has imaging equipment and sterilizers. A small manufacturer has a production line that doesn't run if one motor goes down. When that equipment fails, the repair bill is only part of the problem. The lost income while you're shut down can be worse. Picture a small coffee shop. The main compressor on the walk-in cooler quits overnight. By morning, a few $1,000s of product has spoiled, the repair tech can't get out until the next day, and the shop runs at half capacity until the part arrives. The compressor itself might just be a couple $1,000s to fix, but the spoiled inventory and the days of lost sales can quickly add up to more than the machine ever cost. That's the part owners don't see coming. The equipment failed on its own, no fire, no storm, and the loss isn't just the box in the back. It's everything that stops happening while the box is down. This is where equipment breakdown coverage comes in. You may also hear it called a boiler and machinery coverage, which is the older name for the same idea. The name comes from an era when the big risk was an actual boiler exploding. The coverage has grown well beyond that. What it generally does is cover sudden, accidental, physical damage to covered equipment from a mechanical breakdown, an electrical failure, or a motor burning out. Many of the internal failures the base policy excludes are the kinds of failures this coverage is built to pick up. On the home side where a carrier offers it, it usually shows up as an endorsement on your homeowner's policy. It's not available on every policy, and availability can vary by carrier and by state, so the first question is whether yours offers it at all. Where it is available, it can cover a long list of systems. Your HVAC, your water heater, pool equipment, solar components, major appliances, the kind of things that altogether would cost a fortune to replace at once. And it often reaches further than people expect. A failed inverter on a solar array, a control board in a smart appliance, the electronics in a high-end range. These are not cheap parts, and they fail in ways that have nothing to do with the storm. Failures the base policy may not touch. On the business side, it's frequently part of a business owner's policy where it can be added on. And depending on the coverage part selected, it may do more than fix the machine. It can include the lost business income while you're down, the cost of spoiled inventory in a cooler that quit, extra expense to keep operating, and sometimes the cost to bring an old system up to current code when you replace it. That code piece is easy to overlook and it matters. When a major system fails, you often can't just drop in the same unit you had 15 years ago. Building codes and energy standards change, and the replacement has to meet what's required today, which can cost more than a like-for-like swap. When that coverage part's included, equipment breakdown can help close that difference. Equipment breakdown coverage is useful, but it's not magic, and the edges are worth being clear about. It doesn't cover normal wear and tear. If your 20-year-old air conditioner finally dies of old age, that's usually not a sudden accidental insurance claim. That's the end of a long life, and an equipment breakdown endorsement generally isn't there to replace things that simply wore out on schedule. It also doesn't cover a lack of maintenance. If a system fails because it was never serviced, that can be a problem. The coverage is built for the sudden failure, not for neglect catching up with you. And then there's the home warranty, which is worth being clear about because this is where people get confused. A home warranty is not insurance. It's a service contract. You pay a company and they arrange to repair or replace covered items, usually with their own service fees, their own contractors, and their own list of what qualifies. The equipment breakdown endorsement is different. It's actual insurance that lives on your policy with a deductible, responding to a sudden accidental failure the way the rest of your coverage does. So they're two different tools, but a home warranty can be a practical way to address part of this gap. Not in the same way, and it doesn't have the same triggers, but it may cover some wear and age failures an insurance endorsement generally won't touch, depending on the warranty contract. That matters more when you remember equipment breakdown isn't available on every home policy in the first place. When the endorsement's not an option, a warranty may be the practical tool for some of the real-world breakdowns, especially wear and age ones. So the picture on the endorsement itself is this. A motor burns out suddenly, often covered. A unit that slowly dies after 15 good years, generally not. And that's the wear and age territory where a warranty fits instead. Knowing which side of that line you're on is most of the value here. Equipment breakdown coverage usually has a deductible, sometimes a separate one, and that's worth a quick word because my view on deductibles runs through everything we talk about. Insurance is at its best when it absorbs the loss you genuinely could not write a check for. The small stuff you're usually better off keeping yourself. So the question is not how low can I get the deductible? The question is, what could I comfortably pay tomorrow if a system failed without it hurting? For most people, a $6,000 HVAC failure is exactly the kind of loss worth considering for transfer. A $200 repair on a small appliance probably isn't. Set the deductible where it matches that thinking, and the coverage is there for the day a major system fails and hands you a bill you weren't planning for. How do you know if you have this coverage and whether you need it? A few simple questions. First, pull your homeowner's declarations page or your business property policy and look for wording like equipment breakdown, mechanical breakdown, or home systems protection. If it's not there, you very likely don't have it. Second, add the systems in your home or building that could fail on their own. The HVAC, the water heater, the solar, the pool equipment, the generator, the commercial gear that your income depends on. If that list is long and expensive, and for most modern homes and businesses it is, then closing this gap is worth a real look, whichever tool ends up fitting. And third is to ask. Ask whether your carrier even offers equipment breakdown, because not all of them do. And ask what their version actually covers if they do. And if it's not available to you, ask whether a home warranty is the better tool for the wear and age side of things. And if you're not sure where you stand, this is exactly the kind of thing we look at when we review a policy. And we do that all the time. We may know a carrier that offers this when yours doesn't, or we can help you think through whether a home warranty is the better tool to ask about. The point is to find out while the system is still running, not on the afternoon it quits. So here's what I would take away from this. Your standard policy is built for the storm, the fire, and the falling tree. It's not built for the machine that fails on its own. And as your home and your business fill up with expensive systems, that gap quietly gets wider. And there are real ways to close it. Whether that's an equipment breakdown endorsement where your carrier offers one, or a home warranty for the situations insurance was not built to handle. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jim Eddington, and my agency helps individuals and businesses with their insurance every single day. We're an independent agency based here in Nevada, and we help homeowners and business owners in Arizona, Utah, and California too. If you want us to take a look at your policy and check whether this coverage is even available to you, or whether a home warranty makes more sense, the link is below. Get a quote or just reach out and we'll walk through it with you. And subscribe to the channel. We publish most business days, and what we cover is for individuals, families, and business owners who want to understand their insurance before they need it, not after. Thanks for watching.